You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Pay-Per-View After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Pay-Per-View After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing it. Today we are doing an after show for WWE's pay-per-view Battleground. I'm your host, Cathy Kelly, and joining me across from me, we are setting aside our differences for one night only to bring you the best after show on AfterBuzz TV. It is Christian Rosenberg.
That is true. Thank you for having me here, Cathy. We got to do what's best for business this evening.
This is what's best for business.
This is what's best for business because we had a very entertaining pay-per-view this evening.
I'm shaking still.
Shaking from the finish of the night.
Or the energy
Or the
drinks
energy
that I've
drinks you
had to stay up this late.
Let's say from the finish of the pay-per-view.
Okay, that's what it was. And also here to join our podcast for the evening, Scott Narver.
Yes, hello. Thanks for having me. And we're going to put our differences together and create differences tonight because we don't have any yet.
That sounds awesome.
Right?
I'm for it.
I'm okay with it. Oh, there's
You're
one right
against it?
there.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
There's one right
Cool.
there. Ah,
This
jeez.
Break
is
it up.
Great.
Stop it.
And then last but not least, joining the panel tonight is Tom Connolly.
Hello, how's
Tom the
everyone doing?
Cum!
I am here.
Apparently not Tom the Clam, which I
No,
thought it was
no, it's
originally.
not
But
That's his
Tom the
mafia
Cum.
name.
regardless, we are happy to have him. So overall thoughts, let's get into it.
Overall, I thought every match of the show tonight was solid. We were talking about heading into it, 9 matches. That seems like a lot for a 3-hour pay-per-view, but they really only had 1, maybe 2 backstage segments.
It was pretty fast-paced.
And it was fast-paced,
Yeah.
and all the matches felt like they all got at least a decent amount of time. So overall, I thought the spacing of the pay-per-view went really well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it was a unexpected good pay-per-view. I wasn't excited that we were going to have 3 pay-per-views in the course of 2 months, but it
And this is
ended up
number 2 of that,
delivering.
yeah.
Yeah. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was great that they delivered. That's the type of wrestling pay-per-view I want to see. I want to see a pay-per-view that has a bunch of wrestling in it. Like you said, very little backstage segments, very little cutaways to video packages. They just gave everybody time, and they got to showcase, or if they didn't do it, then they didn't do it. But they had their time to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, with the panel of, not the pre-show panel, but I agree with all you guys.
The pre-show panel.
Are you disagreeing with Tensai?
Yes, definitely.
So you're putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm
All
letting
right.
him know.
I think he might be able to take you.
Yeah, probably.
But-
I mean, I think buying the pay-per-view would have been worth putting out the money. I think you got your money's worth.
Were you guys disappointed at all that we did see some matches that we've seen in the past?
I mean, you had a few matches that was kind of like the rematch setup, but the quality of the match worked out well. Yeah, there were a couple matches that you're like, oh, this would be good for a featured match on Raw instead of a pay-per-view. Like the R-Truth Axel match, which we'll get to later. It actually was an entertaining match, but it's just like, is this really a pay-per-view style match?
I think they just needed Axel to defend the title
Well, that too.
for once.
But they didn't
They
have any
need to
build.
give him a feud.
Yes,
I've been
exactly.
waiting for an actual feud with him.
I was hoping that the storyline would develop where he is kind of now the less
The lackey.
not the lackey, but just like Heyman doesn't pay attention to him as much as his coveted son, and he just kind of
He's
like
the adopted son.
Yeah.
exactly. He's the adopted son that he's like the redheaded stepchild almost that like he doesn't pay any attention to, and he ends up starting to go on this losing streak. And then he's like, Dad, Heyman,
Heyman
will you
put-
help me out? Like, you're supposed to be there for me.
Heyman puts Rybak's art projects on the refrigerator, and Axel's just going a box in the attic.
You mean the recycling bin?
Recycling
attic.
bin?
His art projects.
I follow you.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
I mean,
Okay,
I
I
was
missed
thinking
it.
that they were made out of paper
And he gets them all wrong too. He looks at it, he's like, "Oh wow, a dragon." He's like, "No, that's you."
A walrus, a walrus. I drew you a walrus.
Sad.
A walrus.
So let's start off with the pre-show tonight. Very interesting commentators or people on the pre-show
panel.
tonight.
On
They
their
were
panel.
experts.
Matthews, Miz, Titus, and Tensai.
They got taller as you went up too. Like you
Yes.
start
The
off with
Verizon
Matthews.
bars.
Yeah,
It was great.
evolutionary scale.
Apparently, Miz is healed from his injuries that he got like a week ago because he seemed perfectly fine doing
Yeah.
that. And it was interesting to have two people from tag teams and both like babyface tag teams next to each other. I felt it was kind of like awkward that they had that, like maybe just have one other singles wrestler instead of. We've seen Titus do them before, so maybe he's good at it though. But like maybe replace Titus with someone that hasn't had the chance for it. And but I think we were all just busy staring at Tensai in this because it just seems so awkward seeing him in a suit.
How he looks in real life.
I know.
The glasses, it's a different side to Tensai.
He's got so many sides. He's like a 20-sided die. So many sides to Tensai.
But see,
So many sides.
but see,
10 sides.
10 sides, 10 sides, 10
Yes,
sides.
yes.
But Brodus Clay, does Brodus Clay walk around in the suit all the time, or is he still in like the warm-up gear that he does with tons of
No,
fun?
he
can't
I
get
saw
that
him at
singlet off.
Access. He had a suit.
Did
the
he
whole time.
really? I'm
Yeah.
curious what he looks like in a suit too.
It was like it was just complete. Just I think it was like a black pinstripe suit he had on, but he was outside all day. He was probably
Yeah.
sweating
Oh
like
God.
crazy.
So awkward pre-show commentary, and then we get Renee Young. She's in back with the social media lounge.
Speaking of awkward,
God.
This was a little awkward. Not her, but El Torito comes out of nowhere.
Olay!
And
No.
no.
Oh, lame.
she said Olay,
lame.
but
I say oh lame.
do you
what
think
I
that's
say.
going to go over at all?
No.
With who?
No.
Children
People who
that
have
strive
never
to be.
seen El Generico, and
No.
I don't know.
No, even kids that have stunted growth, I don't think want to grow up and be a little bull when they grow up. Like it's just not. It's not a dream of
This would
anyone.
be. I wish I had a 5-year-old right now because this would be a great Halloween costume.
I agree with you on
Yeah,
that.
would, yeah.
I mean, they can't do all this hype
First time ever, sorry.
for this tag team and El Torito just for like their upcoming tour of Mexico. Because when that's done, what are you doing with them?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, we saw it on Raw. We saw it on SmackDown.
The exact same thing. It was
Yeah.
the same exact match on both shows.
I mean, are they good? They're obviously probably going to feud with the Real Americans. That's going to be coming soon. But that's not going to do anything for the El Matadores. It's going to do something for Real Americans. And people are going to cheer Real Americans, which they're not supposed to be.
I expect El Torito to run his horns into Zeb's keister. And that'll
I
be
thought he was going to do that to Renee Young when he got on the couch.
that might just be inappropriate.
Yeah.
It already was. It already was.
He called her muy bonita,
Yeah. Mamacita.
mamacita.
I mean, do you think that they already have strong enough tag teams as it is? Do we need to see them?
They didn't need
at
to
all?
change them.
I mean,
Primo and Epico.
they were kind of
Wait, what?
boring.
I mean,
Fernando.
Fernando and Diego.
Wait a second. What?
Oh, wait.
Primo and Epico?
Sorry, it was a Freudian slip. That was so weird.
Oh, all right.
But no,
Weird.
They could have been over without this gimmick because they are good wrestlers and people
They're
knew them
great,
as an
yeah.
established tag team. They just weren't. They just weren't putting them in storylines. If they did something, it should have worked fine. But no, now we're just going to completely repackage it into this. And I was trying. And people that watch SmackDown, they know I was trying to be hopeful. I was trying to be positive for Los Matadores. So like, let's wait to see they debut and see how they are and see how they act. And then we got this, and it's like this doesn't work at all.
Guys,
At all.
they're bullfighters, and their friend is a bull.
They're both
That's the problem.
they're Spanish.
That is the problem.
They're Spanish bullfighters from Puerto Rico. That's another problem.
Yes, and their friend is a bull that they're not fighting.
Keep your friends close.
Yeah.
Enemies closer.
Yeah.
I don't think they get it.
I think the one good thing that has come out of all of this is, who mentioned it, that they heard that Hornswoggle is now worried for his job and going through training?
Well, he sees El Torito jumping off the ropes every now and then. He's
So
like,
he
"Whoa,
wants
he
to
can take my spot."
learn wrestling as well.
I thought he
essentially.
knew.
I think the Rumble's
he
going
was- I
back
think
to
he knows
40
to an
people
extent.
is what's going to happen. The Royal Rumble's going back to 40 again. We're going to have El Torito, Hornswoggle in there as 1 and 2, and they're going to last longer than Flair, longer than Rey Mysterio.
Hey, I've been saying I want an Iron Man match for WrestleMania 30. I now think we found our competitors for it.
Well, you got it.
It'll just be a lot of running around the ring, running under the ring. Yep.
Butt biting.
Butt biting?
10-minute match
Yeah, that
under the
happens
ring.
in little people matches. There's a lot of butt biting on the
Yeah.
ref, and
Yeah, if you go back and watch old Jerry Lawler and Bret
Max
Hart
Mini.
stuff.
yeah.
Max Mini. Even though with a mask, he was still biting people somehow.
But they
Don't
gave
ask,
this
he
away for
was.
free. They didn't even charge us
that was
for
on
this.
Raw.
Yeah, this is all free.
This is free.
Yes.
This was a gift.
It was a gift.
This was to entice you.
And it just kept on giving. We can't wait for more of El Torito.
So let's get right into the Ziggler versus Sandow match. I mean, great match for a free show, by the way.
And they gave it time. It was like
Yeah.
a
A
good
lot of time. It was-
15-minute
yeah.
match or so.
2 segments.
Yeah, they had the commercial break for the pre-show, as always. And yeah, it was an entertaining match. It was good back and forth action. I found it kind of funny that on commentary they talked about how Damien Sandow visited Niagara Falls and said he wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah. I feel like there were a lot of, and I know that Niagara Falls is in America and in Canada, but like, why? I don't know. There were so many Canadian references tonight.
I think
In the
it's just
entire
so close
show.
to the
So
border.
I
close
mean,
to
they
the
are
border,
close,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
know that a lot of like Canadian fans would come down to Buffalo to see the show, but it was kind of overkill at some points. I don't know. Maybe that was just me.
I mean, I can understand that a little bit. And the funny thing is, I mean, were there really anyone from Canada on the card tonight?
No.
Nope.
I'm not. Off the top of my head, I don't think there was.
Natty wasn't there.
What, Alberto Del Rio,
well,
where is he from?
She came out. She came out
He's
later.
close.
Bray Wyatt?
Cesaro.
Kofi
Yeah.
Kingston?
Yep.
Kofi's from Canada.
Yeah, they're all
Kofi's
Canadians,
Canadian.
guys. They're all Canadians.
So Ziggler versus Sandow. Ziggler ends up winning. This is kind of how I judged how much the WWE still hates him, is if he would win or not. And he did. And I'm so grateful of
And
that.
Sandow might have got hurt because they were talking about, and they went later on the pay-per-view talking about how he, like they were looking at his knee afterwards. So I don't know if maybe it was either part of the match or something legitimate happened, but they were saying, as we get into later on, that is why you never saw him trying to cash in.
Right.
But they
Yeah.
kind of look back at it though, like specifically the knee later on as
Yeah,
well.
because he pulled down his.
He pulled down
his
the knee pad.
and then
Ziggler
Ziggler
worked
kicked
the
him in
knee,
it.
yeah.
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 So, or he did like he jumped off the rope. And,
I think you called it, though, the second that the announcers mentioned that he might cash it in later.
Knew it wasn't going to happen.
He wasn't going to
Yeah.
cash it in later.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Has to be a
even gonna be an
surprise.
attempt. Yeah.
That's the whole point of Money in the Bank.
And
It
he
has to
even
be a
said he
shock.
was good. He even said at the beginning.
He mentioned it
was like,
himself.
you may see me again tonight. So, but we didn't.
No.
Sadly.
Getting into the actual show, RVD with Ricardo versus Alberto Del Rio. Still an awkward pairing. Who said Ricardo might be leaving RVD soon?
And there's some rumors going around about it. Maybe someone returning soon that they might put Ricardo with instead. But
Ooh.
Which would
I mean,
make more sense.
the possibility of Mysterio, maybe. Because I mean, that would make more sense than RVD.
Yeah.
But
Anything would make more sense than RVD.
I almost want Ricardo to just go solo at this point. I want him to try to start wrestling.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool.
Because I know the
LO
guy. I know the
Cal?
guy. LO Cal. No, who's
Are we
LO
not
Cal?
allowed to say that?
But I mean, Ricardo can wrestle, and so it'd be kind of cool, like to see. All right, do a whole like angle with it. I'm done with the managerial thing. I want to try to make it as a wrestler. Show him in NXT training, you know, and like try to maybe build him up. And
Kind of like
eventually
the Rocky music starts
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
What if they could always like put him in a mask too, and have them say there's going to be some new star debuting.
It's going to be
And we
trouble
don't know
though, when
it's
he
him.
introduces himself.
He
No, he
goes
won't
up
do that.
against
That's true.
Del Rio.
Because he has to announce himself.
But I could see that of like being a shocking reveal when it say he debuts, goes against Del Rio. Say he beats Del Rio for the belt. Wouldn't that be a shocking thing? He pulls off his mask and it's Ricardo all along,
Oh yeah.
right?
Be very shocking.
Yeah, I think everyone would be.
You'd be
really
able to
shocked.
tell by the body type.
No,
He
no,
could
you
be
wouldn't.
El Torito, you
No,
guys.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He could wear a
I've
fat
never
suit.
seen them in the same place at the same time.
El Burrito.
He could be El Burrito.
Yeah, that's a good nickname for him.
So Lillian Garcia is forced to intro ADR in Spanish at the top of this, which
Which she does.
Yeah,
Which she
it's
does.
Job.
All the time.
She does it every week
she
anyway.
does perfectly.
She does it every week on SmackDown anyway. She introduces him in Spanish.
She can't be that upset to announce someone's name when she's the announcer. Like,
True.
Sorry, everybody. I have to do some
Don't
announcing.
tell me how to announce.
She's very fluent in Spanish already. So
Yeah, it's a win-win.
And about 30 seconds into the match, RVD does an amazing moonsault off the barricade.
Yeah.
yeah.
So cool. Beautiful. Break out the chairs. Did you guys think that this was hardcore match?
The second move was the spinning tornado DDT onto that steel chair back into the ring.
That was early on in the match.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, a lot of people when they say hardcore, they're expecting weapons galore. But I mean, you can have a hardcore match if you tell the story correctly and you really only use a couple weapons sporadically. And I thought they did a great job with it because I thought the times that they used the chair or the ladder and the trash can, I thought they were set up and timed and spaced out good enough, so it had much more of an impact than if you're just sitting there from bell to bell with kendo sticks and chairs and tables and everything back and forth and back and forth. The crowd on the short term will love it, but then it's a matter of, okay, they just put each other through all that stuff, and that's the opening match. All right, rest of the card, top that.
Exactly. That's kind of how I felt, is that should set the stage for how the rest of the pay-per-view is going to go, and I don't know.
But I mean, I just feel that if you're gonna have RVD in a hardcore match, people are gonna expect it to be ECW hardcore,
Exactly.
not WWE hardcore.
True.
A
That's
lot
true.
of people
So
mentioned
that's-
on Twitter
that's where
that's
it's-
where their disappointment stemmed from.
I thought it was a good match, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah, it was a great
this is the
match.
first time I think they really clicked together, better than their other matches they've had.
And you were just saying about how this match should be kind of like the pace of what's going to go forward for the rest of the night. And that's what I think they ended up doing with it because, like I said, as far as the spacing and the storytelling from each match that we had throughout the night, I thought they started off well here because, yeah, there could have been crazy table spots and RVD could have climbed the ladder and do a frog splash and miss onto barbed wire or whatever. But would it be completely necessary? It'd be fun to watch, but would it be necessary? And I mean, I think it went well. And I think, with the end when RVD's arm got in the chair,
Oh God, yeah.
that looked fantastic, and that sold the
Cross-arm
devastation of just
breaker
a steel
through
chair
the
and the
chair,
arm
yeah.
breaker.
I mean, we got everything in this match from ladders. We did not get any tables, even though there was a clear "We want tables" chant.
Not
He
the
didn't
Jerry
have the
Lawler.
chair up.
Yeah, not the Jerry Lawler.
this is what you
Lawler's
get.
like, I think we heard "We want chairs."
Yeah, that was not
Oh,
good.
Jerry.
No.
We also, don't forget, we had the Susan G. Komen bucket of doom.
That's true.
That was there.
That is true.
Got a trash can.
Susan G. Komen, wow, she was violent with that bucket tonight. And Ricardo was representing the bucket?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was someone thinking Ricardo was going to turn?
I thought
ADR?
so. Yeah.
I could have.
I could see it. I wouldn't be shocked. But another thing that was introduced tonight, which I think went over with everyone, the slow-mo cam.
Yes.
That was sweet.
The slow-mo replay footage that they were showing were just showing the body ripples as they would hit the mat. Like after the Van Terminator, that you're seeing RVD's body just crumble after he misses and just collapsing, and seeing how devastating that is.
Someone sent me a video of them introducing this technology to the people down at NXT.
NXT, I saw that.
Yeah, and it was really cool.
James Cameron?
Maybe.
Could have.
It could have been.
It was, the cinematography was excellent, and
And
And it works underwater.
and it's such a great way for them and for obviously now like the people at home to really watch and see, and see how the don't try this at home. Here's a super close up as to
It is
why
somewhat
you should
real,
not
yeah.
try it at home. Because his body is really
jiggly.
his foot is really connecting to his face.
Yes.
And then he is falling flat on his back. So
If they use this for Ric Flair, it could be like a lava lamp. It could just be the most hypnotizing thing on the planet. Just watch it all move.
Yes. So RVD ends up tapping. ADR gets the cross arm breaker with the chair. Looked very painful from, I mean, everything that happened tonight with the trash can, the ladder.
The frog splash on the ladder to the outside.
Yeah.
There's that too.
And he missed the Rolling Thunder onto the ladder.
Oh, yeah.
RVD missed
RVD's so great at showing the damage that he takes that you really get wrapped up and you don't know to the degree of which he is hurt. He's such a pro at that, which is becoming a lost art, but starting to be picked up again with your Seth Rollins and Ziggler's. But RVD is so great at it.
I think one of the things that I commend him for on that is that a lot of wrestlers, I feel like when they do want to sell something, they sell everything. They don't focus on one area, and that's what he's good at. He's reacting to where he was hit as opposed to where he thought he was going to get hit.
Yeah, the offensive moves still hurt when he tries those, that there's still pain involved, and then after, if he wins, he's still hurt. He's still beat up. And it's not just after the bell rings and you hear your music, I'm fine. I'm good.
That's a sign of a guy with lots of experience who knows how to tell a story. And he does that very well. And he absolutely, both of them delivered.
Backstage, Real Americans, Zeb Coulter.
Oh, Zeb.
Canadians are sneaking across the border. Those maple syrup drinking.
Chugging Canadians. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Swagger and Cesaro behind him be like,
chiming in every 2 seconds. I think it was unintentionally hilarious. Are they trying to go the comedy route? Or?
They're like frat guys behind a news, news anchor, and just like, hey.
And then Cesaro seems like he's smirking, and all of a sudden at the end of the promo, he just goes,
serious face.
very serious face.
I don't know, but I guess Zeb is angry at Buffalo because their only claim to fame is their chicken wings.
Yeah, that he said are fried, dyed, and laid to the side.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have no idea.
He's so eloquent when he speaks, though. So, Connolly, Hornswoggle, and Santino versus the Real Americans.
AKA the greatest tag team ever created.
The Real Americans.
Oh, I was talking about Santino and Great Khali.
Santino and Connolly, I mean, Santino is always going to be hilarious.
Yes.
Khali is always going to be hilarious.
Sometimes
he's going to be there.
Somebody has to tell him what's going on sometimes, which I don't feel always happens.
And all of our wishes were granted tonight with Cesaro.
All we were asking.
Swinging Khali.
We counted 11 times.
With the greatest of ease. He made it look simple.
Khali's what, 7'3", 7'4"?
Yeah.
400 something pounds? And he swings him around. Right round, baby, right round. That's why we had the song.
I feel like he could have done a little more, but he kind of lost his footing and just kind of had to drop him.
I think Khali just couldn't keep himself up at that point because
because it takes a toll on you. All your blood rushes to your head, and
you're getting like they're part of it too. They're like almost like a sit up type deal. Like they're trying to keep their body up, along with Cesaro pulling it. So I mean, the fact that he was able to pull off 11 on a guy like Khali is incredible.
Strongest man pound for pound. Can he say that now?
He has been saying that. So they stopped it when he joined the Real Americans, but they were saying pound for pound the strongest man.
I think they stopped it once Big E made his debut, right?
Maybe.
Or when Mark Henry wore that pink jacket.
Or when Mark Henry wore the pink jacket.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got to start. I mean, this is a perfect type of setup for a singles feud with Mark Henry. Because it's like, oh, you're proving that you're being the strongest man.
Do you really think he could swing Mark Henry, though?
If he can swing Khali, he can swing Mark Henry.
Really?
Yes.
I think so.
I guess his center of gravity is like more.
I don't know.
He'll figure out a way.
We'll see it.
Maybe not like 30 times like he can to Santino, but he could probably get him around a few.
As long as it's 3 revolutions, that's enough.
I count 3 as a success.
Yeah.
Did anyone notice tonight Cole calling Khali the Punji Master?
Yeah.
The Punji Master?
I think it's like Punjai, because it was like, didn't they have like a Punjai prison match or something like that?
Punjabi.
Oh, Punjabi. That's it. Yeah.
But
Okay.
JBL refers to him as the Punjabi
Playboy.
He leaves off the I.
Punjab Playboy, yes, he did
Yeah.
say that once.
I don't know if any of them are reading his tights because it's written on the sides for him.
And the tights are so long, it's clear as it's a billboard.
Yeah.
So
It's there.
Yeah. I mean, just an entertaining match overall with the Santino messing up his kip-ups. But at the same time, I don't know if you guys caught NXT. It was Santino versus Cesaro in a mixed tag team.
it was
that was
Santino and
Fandango.
Emma against Fandango and Summer Rae.
Oh. When was... Okay, yeah. I completely...
No, that
You're watching too many of them
It
all
is
together.
also
They're all
11
bunched into
p.m.
one.
and I have had 2 hours of sleep, so apologies about that. But anyways, we get a slow-mo of the spin, which completes my night, and
Yeah, we were good. We were like, we can
that's
shut the
probably where I was like,
pay-per-view off.
okay,
We're fine.
turn my brain off too. Cesaro pins Connolly with a 3 count, and the Real Americans get the win.
I'm glad they won. I think they needed it definitely more than
Oh, they definitely need
Santino
more.
and Connolly.
Yes.
So
They didn't need more. That's why I was surprised that they actually let him win.
Yeah, it was a fun match, and I was glad that Santino didn't get pinned because he's still on his
True.
streak.
yeah.
True.
Axel versus R-Truth for the IC title. Starts off Axel slamming Truth into the barricade. Made a huge noise. I don't know if you guys caught that.
And had the slow motion cam on that too.
Yeah.
That looked devastating.
That looked like it hurt a lot. During pretty much the entire match, Heyman seemed stoic along the side of the ring. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah, no, I caught that. I was actually more intrigued with the fact that they were really pushing like R-Truth's kind of his story a little bit. Like in the commentary during this match, talking about, he's been around for 17 years. I don't think he's ever been Intercontinental Champion. He's been United States Champion. And, a few weeks ago when Stephanie McMahon on Raw asked R-Truth when was the last time you were champion, like that got to him. So this is the first time that I can remember where it was actually like the build-up during the match was like, I want to get behind R-Truth.
Yeah, that's a time where they talked about they had a video on their website talking about R-Truth's career, and we know going in that we see on Raw and SmackDown, we see the Punk Rybak packages, we see the Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan packages, but this was a time like, show this on the pay-per-view right before we see R-Truth. Let's have a reason to root for the guy. Let's
Yeah.
get invested.
He's
Yeah.
gotten more airtime the past couple weeks. So
Yes, I mean, and it's no secret that I'm not personally a huge R-Truth fan, but one thing he's always good at is whoever he's in the ring with, he makes them look good. Like, he's able to bring out the best in them. And I thought Axel did why are you smiling at me with like that? I'm
Your shirt.
Yeah, well, you
That's your
staring at my shirt? Cathy wants to be a rosebud. She's
So
just
does R-Truth,
she's-
but you won't let him.
R-Truth is welcome to join the garden anytime he wants.
That sounds so weird. Sounds so weird.
boring chant erupted during this
I know,
match.
I know.
It was boring,
And that
boring or
bummed me.
walrus. It was kind of a.
That
I
kind
thought
of
it was
upset
boring.
me.
You thought it was
Well,
walrus.
as I was writing boring, then I heard was 1, 2, 3, it's over. I was like, what happened? I was like, how did this match end? It ended out of nowhere, I thought.
yeah,
with the-
it did. There was, if
Yeah.
you blinked, you would have missed
Yeah, the
it.
finisher that we've been waiting like 4
unnamed
months for a
finisher?
name.
No, it's the inverted neck-breaking DDT. The INB DDT. I named it on main event the other night.
Yeah, that's why you got to watch AfterBuzz
main event.
Find these things out.
All right.
And we have a name for Curtis Axel. You know his fake clothesline?
The one
called-
like hits on the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
We call it the Distracto arm. Marquia made that name up.
Yeah.
She's great at naming
Oh,
moves.
yeah.
Why are you guys not uncreative?
They're going to snatch up Marquia any second.
Yeah.
They really are.
So Axel retains the title, and we move on to Brie Bella versus AJ with their
With Diesel.
What?
Later. To me,
Yeah.
that is Diesel and AJ old school Shawn Michaels. Like Diesel's the big Daddy Cool bodyguard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nicer than calling her China Snuka.
I won't call her China. I'm not calling her China. I'll call her Diesel.
I did write that it was at the end of the match when she was choking out Nikki, I was like, that was an exact flashback of Chyna choking out Marlena years ago when she grabbed her from
Ragdolled her.
Yeah. I thought she was gonna pick her up and just kind of throw her around, but
Dale Rutledge, one of our hosts for
walking
Raw,
Dale.
had one of the most amazing tweets of the night. He said, "Next time a new iPhone comes out, I am bringing Tamina Snuka as my bodyguard to the iPhone store. Take out some other people."
Oh, I thought it was to test it out. The durability of it.
No, it's like
I thought it
take
was.
out the people who are in line before.
I thought it was so she can show them how to download the WWE app.
No one knows how to do that.
Because they've yet
they
to,
got an app?
They've yet to instruct us on how it works.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know this app.
One day it'll work.
So this is one of the matches that got very little time tonight in comparison to some of our 20-minute matches. But Brie gets some early offense. AJ crawls out of the ring. Brie ended up going face first into the corner post at one point.
That was nasty.
Which
That was nasty
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
looked kind of intense. And it looked like a couple things got messed up towards the end of the match.
Yeah, there seemed to be like there was a roll up that kind of I might have I think it was Brie that slipped or something like that. But they made up for it and then just kept going. But yeah, towards the end, you could visually see that there was a lot of audibles being called. I mean, and they made it work all right. And I know it was one of like the shorter matches of the pay-per-view, but I think it went maybe slightly longer than the Fatal 4-Way Divas match in the last one.
Definitely went longer.
I don't think they could have had a shorter match than that.
But the thing is, I thought the length for this match worked for it because it was just a singles match, and there really hasn't been a huge build-up between those two individually. The 4-Way at the last one, we were all upset about because that had one of the biggest build-ups for that pay-per-view and should have been twice as long. But for a one-on-one match with not a whole lot of build-up between the two, I thought the timing worked out okay.
They got enough footage on the Fatal 4-Way for Total Divas, and that's all. That's what matters.
Exactly.
But
we'll see that towards the end of the year.
The thing that I don't understand with the Bellas and AJ, who's the heel and who's the face in this situation?
Bellas are kind of
it's
baby
very
faces now.
confusing.
I know, but I don't understand that. Like,
I think that it sounded like from commentary that they were trying to say that AJ was the heel because she was talking trash about Brie all week, but I really feel like I side with her.
yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, she's adorable.
I would go with AJ, not Brie, because they never did that thing on TV where it was like, okay, we got to root for the Bellas now. It was, AJ's so jealous of them, but everyone loves it. Everyone loves that part, though.
But they inadvertently did when they had Brie hug Daniel Bryan in the back, and that's all they needed.
No, I needed more than that.
But that made us understand. Oh, they're showing on WWE TV, not just Total Divas, that they're a couple, and all of a sudden now Brie was working on the babyface side of the matches, so it was like, that made her a babyface.
All right, well, I need more. So.
That was the most attitude you have ever shown.
I need more.
not calm anymore.
I want to know why I'm going to cheer for Brie Bella. Because other than that,
He's no
I'm
longer
always going
Tom
to cheer for AJ.
You might have to like Tom like the mild. We're slowly moving up.
Tom the slightly irritated.
Wait till you see if they switch back. I'm going to blow my gasket over here.
I thought
He's going to be Tom the bewildered.
the Diva's impressed. I thought I think AJ is terrific. She's one of my all-time favorites, and Brie, I never expected much out of her, but they did a lot. They really did well, and the mess ups that you guys call, I always go back to the Gorilla Monsoon way of thinking, where it's
How you recover?
It's not how you recover. It's what they tried for didn't work. So it's adapting to what happened. If she tried to kick her and didn't quite get it all, well, then you didn't get the move that well in on her. So, if AJ
So
tried to
don't
kick
sell
her,
it to the extent that you did it.
yes.
Yeah.
So
You're such a positive thinker.
I try to be, because this is such an easily hateful world, and it's
really
no fun
is,
to think that way. But for the matches you see on Raw, they get such little time, and they're not treated significantly. And it was nice to see they got more time, and they did really, really well. And it was one of the better Diva matches of the entire year, I think.
I agree with you. I mean, overall, I thought it was a very fun Diva match.
And AJ won, and she skipped, and that's just fun.
I liked at the beginning when AJ kissed the title and she looked at it and she was like, "I love you."
This is her boyfriend now.
It is.
You won't leave me, will you?
Backstage, the Rhodes with Renee Young. I don't.
Goldust with like war paint.
Yeah.
It looked really good
I
tonight.
loved it.
I thought it was a mask at first or something, but maybe he just took some extra time. He's like, "Oh, it's a pay-per-view." Like,
Darth Maul Goldust, yeah.
Kinda, yeah. Isn't that his?
that reference?
Doesn't he have that on his Twitter now?
You say you don't get that?
Yeah, he.
No, I like that reference. I don't get that reference. One of my favorite posters of the night. All roads lead to the Shield. Very simple, but
Nice
stuck
play
out.
on words.
Yeah. Smart
well
person.
done, guy or girl.
The Rhodes family versus the Shield match. Let's just get into that. Cody and Goldust team up against Rollins and Reigns, and Ambrose ends up pulling Reigns out of the what was it?
I think Rollins pulled Reigns out at first.
Rollins and Ambrose pulled Reigns out of the ring.
Yeah, early on
regroup.
to
Yeah.
kind of regroup, and that's when they had the stare down with Dusty, and he took off his belt for the first time.
The first time. What was he? Was he just getting it back on the entire time in between the first time and the
he took
second
it off,
time?
and then when they got back in the ring, he must have put it back on, or he was wearing two belts.
Yeah. Or he just really needed a belt to hold up his pants. So he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have taken this off."
Two belt kind of day.
It was a two belt day.
What was really strange, though, when we were watching it together, Christian would take off his belt every time Dusty took off his belt.
That's true.
Living vicariously through Dusty Rhodes.
He's the American dream. I would do the impression, but I'm terrible at it. Rome on SmackDown does it great.
He does do a good one.
There was a moment outside the ring when the Rhodes family, it was just the Rhodes family on one side and the Shield on the other, and they looked like they were about to get in a knife fight in a musical.
That's when he took the belt off. That the belt was the knife.
Yeah?
They're
Dusty's belt was
going
like-
to start dancing.
It was like West Side Story
yeah, it
or
was like, and then
something. The
Dusty took the
shot.
belt off, and then Goldust and Cody were behind him going,
Just snapping. I love it.
Ambrose does have that like greaser look already, so
yeah, there you go.
That guy's a jet. All the way.
So Goldust doesn't look like he took any time away from WWE. His moves were really on point tonight.
Yeah, Goldust is the type of guy where for years, I mean, personally, he's one of my all-time favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the whole entrance, the promos, all it's just like it was so ahead of its time. But for years, it was just like, oh, he's entertaining to watch. But once we got to the point where towards the end of his WWE regular career, like with the ECW type deal, where he was pretty much there just to put guys over, that's when you really notice and was really starting to appreciate, wow, this guy can wrestle with anybody. And he's just proven it now. He's 44, according to Wikipedia. We looked that up during the match.
That might, yeah.
I mean, for all we know, that means he's 59 or something. But a few weeks ago on Raw with Orton, excellent match. And tonight with Reigns and Rollins, the guy can wrestle with anyone.
He got on the top rope and did a flip crossbody on Reigns. Like, that looked
yeah, that was
amazing.
And I can't remember him ever jumping off the top rope throughout his career.
So he's only gotten better with time.
Yeah.
It's like a fine wine.
He's a fine wine. Goldust is a fine wine.
I thought he was going to do a moonsault. That's
I
what
thought he was going to do
setting up
Cody's
for.
moonsault.
Yeah, but then he was like, "No, I'm going
It
to
was
leave
my
that for
own style."
Cody." Yeah.
It was still good.
So even with Goldust's outfit, he managed to slip some pink in there. Why doesn't the Shield have to wear pink?
They're the Shield.
Maybe they
don't gotta
have
do
it under
anything.
their vests. I don't know. Maybe their socks are pink. I don't know.
They hate boobs.
Wow.
You're calling the Shield boob haters?
Breaking news. The Shield hates
I thought you guys
boobs.
would have a reason, so I had to come up with something off the top of my
It's
head.
clear that the Shield are
That
boob haters.
that makes them bigger heels than ever.
Yes.
They're coming
Gotta
out,
laugh from the back. So.
Steven approved of that one.
most evil thing imaginable.
Yes.
Coming out through the crowd, all the women survivors are like, "Hi, how are you?" No, we don't care. We hate those things.
Cody had a lot of energy. I'm trying to get off of boobs. Cody had a lot of.
It was a boob night.
It was.
It was a night of boobs.
We celebrated boobs. Go on.
He had a lot of energy.
That moonsault by Cody was really good.
It could have been
I
called
I think it was the
boob
best
dance.
one
Honestly,
he did.
I feel like some of the power that he showed tonight felt very reminiscent of when Daniel Bryan started getting this push, this most recent push.
I agree, and the crowd did it too, because I think the crowd for this match was even louder than for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, this is
Completely.
Yeah,
the loudest they were all night. This match.
I mean, with Cody, when he hit the Alabama Slam and the Muscle Buster, and then when Dusty gave the bionic elbow to Ambrose.
Wow.
Awesome. So great.
Yeah.
It was such a great way for the finish, where you had Ambrose, or Dusty takes out Ambrose. I'm not used to saying that. Dusty takes out Ambrose. Reigns is stalking him, but then just as he turns, Goldust takes him out. And then we have the first time a Crossroads where someone's in the air, and it's like a super Crossroads. Or, I don't know.
I wish you could do that every time.
Amazing. I don't know what it was. I thought it looked like a different move because
Rollins jumped with it,
yeah.
and so the spin was slower because he was more in the air. But by that, it actually looked more painful.
And the look on Cody's face, the adrenaline and the emotion that the crowd had reached a fever pitch at that point was so amazing. I mean, this goes back to, this is why you would show that package for R-Truth, because the fans aren't emotionally invested. The fans love the Rhodes family. They've seen all this. They see the story that unfolds. They know all the characters.
It's fresh, too.
Yeah, and so they want to care. They want to see them all have their jobs back, so they're just cheering for them. It goes to show how much power that has if they actually invest in these characters and give them that time and make them three-dimensional.
And it's not even investing, a 2-minute video. Sorry to go back, but a 2-minute video at the beginning of the R-Truth match. They didn't have to show the replay from Raw. We know what happens. We know why. They could just be like, he beat him on Raw.
Oh, he could have mentioned it in the 2-minute video.
Exactly. Yeah.
30 seconds even goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And on top of it, all the adrenaline and emotion that the crowd was giving him, when he got that pinfall, and immediately as soon as the bell rang, Goldust was back in that ring, running and hugging Cody. It was just like...
Dusty was crying.
P.S.
It was good. It was good.
It's not like they didn't have any extra time at the end of the pay-per-view to do something. They just ended 9 minutes early.
Yeah, 9-10 minutes early.
Even with the blackout, which we're going to talk about.
We're almost there.
But this is why you order the pay-per-view. If you're going to get the replay or check it out, this was
match of the night. Match of the night.
It definitely was match of the night.
Rhodes family for the win. And now, I guess... Cody gets his job back.
And Goldust gets a job too.
Goldust gets a job.
So we're going to have some more Goldust.
But Triple H and Stephanie were not there tonight, so I feel like there might be...
Maddox is in trouble.
Some sort of... I don't know. They might kibosh it tomorrow.
No, I think they're back for good now.
You think so?
I think for now, yes.
I heard a rumor. Several people tweeted me with this, that Cody signed a deal with somewhere else.
I haven't heard that at all.
I don't know what it was. I should look into it more, but
I don't know. all I'm saying is tomorrow for Raw, over under 2.5 people that Triple H fires.
it's gonna fire a lot of people.
You go. I think I might do the push at 2.5 somehow. I don't know how.
Maddox just might get a
Torito?
stern talking
El Torito.
to. No. Maddox, at least he's for them. Like he's always trying to do things for them. But
he tried to do what's best for business tonight.
Yes.
It just backfired on him.
Exactly.
And then he's in the back on the phone with him asking Vicky for help. Vicky, help me.
He didn't have his vest on, guys. Things were awry.
He was powerless without his vest.
Yeah.
His lucky
Samson
vest.
without his hair, What's he going to do?
We did get to see the entire WWE universe. Pretty much everyone who wasn't working tonight came out to celebrate the Rhodes victory.
The funny thing is Ziggler was out there too.
There were a couple guys that were out there. That
and we had agents. I didn't even know Fit Finlay was back with the WWE, but he was out there celebrating.
Surprise.
Dean Malenko was out there.
IRS,
Mr. Bodal's daddy. Caitlyn was out there. First time we saw her in months.
That
Maddie was out there.
Shocking.
You know what? There were 3 jerks that weren't there celebrating with him. The Miz, Titus O'Neil, and Tensai. Where were they?
They were up.
Where were they?
They were up in their press box.
They were jerks. They clearly don't like the Rhodes family. Jerks.
next pay-per-view.
Next one, they'll be
That's
there.
the next 6-man.
R-Truth did get some time with the Hell in the Cell promo.
What?
Wow.
7th.
That was weird.
I liked it.
It was funny, but
He's on
so
the poster
confused.
for it too, which came out recently.
Why?
Why not?
Him and Del Rio?
Because
We gotta go that
He
way.
loses the Intercontinental title match, and then he gets a World Heavyweight title match.
Hey, he'll
It's
beat Del
different,
Rio
it's
by
fun.
interference or something.
We were all thrown by it. I mean, it wasn't.
it made us pay attention,
True.
Yes.
which is smart
True.
on their part.
It's not Rybak
I'll give him
eating
that.
something. It's not Sheamus kicking a cat out of a tree like the same stuff we see. It's our truth talking. It's like, wait, what's happening and why?
See, I would think something like that with like the title of the Hell in a Cell. I think that'd be good to have Wyatt do like that commercial talking about hell.
Someone, HWView in chat world just said that it's Caitlin's birthday today.
Happy birthday,
happy
Caitlin!
birthday.
Yeah.
For your birthday, you got on TV again.
Backstage, Maddox on the phone with Triple H and Stephanie. They weren't there tonight. They left.
They left
because
early.
they were so upset with the outcome of that match. Vicky comes in and Maddox asks her for help, but she refuses. Surprise, surprise.
That's what you get, Brad. Don't mess with Vicky.
Don't do it. Do we think there will be a change in GM anytime
I hope not.
soon?
I like Maddox. I think he's a good lackey for them. They already have him in place
If anything, I could see it almost kind of being a little swerve and Triple H being angry at Vicky.
for not helping him. Yeah,
Right.
Because she wasn't doing what's best for business.
Yeah.
She's already been demoted.
She's been fired like
I feel
19
so-
She's like she's
times.
GM of SmackDown
Isn't
now.
that weird that I feel bad for her?
Yes.
Yes. Very.
That shouldn't happen.
No, it should not.
We need something to correct that.
They did El Torito. That's their solution to everything at the moment.
Olay!
Okay. So Wyatt family comes out, lantern in tow. Bray sits in his rocker. We get the Bray Wyatt versus Kofi match. Fandango chant in the background during this
Why?
match out of nowhere. Were you really that bored?
It was a good match.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
unfair.
Honestly, anything with Bray in it,
And Kofi.
it should get people's attention.
He's captivating.
And Kofi.
Exactly.
Both of them. Yeah.
But especially, I mean,
well, Bray is just such a creepy guy.
exactly.
Would he
Which
be
showed
welcome
a
in the
lot
garden?
tonight.
Actually, a person tweeted me a photo that has the lamb mask and it says "Follow the Rosebud." So apparently, the Wyatt family has joined the garden.
Thanks, Mama Rosenberg.
Side note.
She doesn't know how to do
Now
that.
that we don't want to talk about the garden anymore, Joseph Boza.
Stop being a weed in my garden.
Joseph Boza, you have so many thorns. Joseph Boza just said that there was a rumor or a tweet that went out from Pro Wrestling Syndicate that Cody had signed with them.
With who?
Pro Wrestling, I don't know.
That's-
This is what people have been tweeting me about, so I don't know exactly what that means.
That's an independent wrestling company. So there are no independent wrestling companies that have contracts.
Okay. Well, that is what I was told by people. I am reporting the news. I don't necessarily all the time know what's going on, as you guys know.
It also may not be Caitlin's birthday, so if it's not, no happy birthday then. It's rescinded.
And El Torito might not actually be a bull.
What?
It's just a rumor.
I'm
It's a
getting really
rumor.
angry over here.
It's a rumor.
I don't like this.
Whoa, Tom the Calm.
Tom the Peeved.
It's getting turned into Tom the Ticked.
I like that.
Did you guys see the back of Kofi's his tights? He had the cartoon logo that he had. It looked like Kofi Bane. Like it looked like a cross
Kofi
between.
Bane?
Yeah, it looked like a cross between Kofi and Bane. Yeah, it had like this little. If you see it, it was really cool.
Mask?
It was.
Isn't that his logo for a while?
It's different though. It's
I,
different now.
I don't remember looking at it. You were studying his tights a little more than I was.
I was
tonight,
really
guess,
close to
but-
the TV. It was really close.
Just the butt part.
He just
Yeah.
stood in front of it most of the pay-per-view.
I just kept wondering, like, why are they just showing butts?
The hands down scariest part of tonight was Bray crawling upside down, looks straight out of a scary movie.
That was like out of
did
the
the-
ring or something.
Yeah.
He did the yoga pose that he
until his
does.
elbow kind of gave him.
But I think he only meant to do a couple steps of it.
That's
And that's all you
difficult.
needed.
I could do that when I was maybe like 5 in gymnastics class. I don't know about now.
I don't think I was ever able to do anything like that.
Let's see.
Go upside down.
Am I doing it?
Yep. You got it.
Yeah, that's the second reason to order the pay-per-view tonight, to see that moment.
For those, for those of you listening, I actually just did it.
He did it on the ceiling.
Yes.
Very scary.
Yeah, I mean, how does he like just stretching back that he does in turnbuckles creepy alone.
Yeah.
But then that walk, and it scared the crap out of Kofi, and he rolled out of the ring.
I'm surprised he didn't tap out.
Tap out
I would've
for him
tapped out.
walking towards him.
Yeah,
like
like,
that.
nope, I'm done.
Kofi ends up taking out all 3 members of the Wyatt family at some point in the match, and that was...
We did kind of joke about that because, all right, Kofi is maybe just over 200 pounds, and he does a top rope move that takes out over 800 pounds.
Momentum. That's all he needed.
Another match tonight with a quick finish.
I like
A
the
sudden
finish,
finish,
of this
but
match.
this one I liked.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, Kane has still been kidnapped by the Wyatts. Just so you know, like that's not been resolved.
I mean, we've been talking about this. How great would it be for Kane to come out in the mask, the lamb mask, and then no one knows, and then when he's in the ring, take it off. Surprise.
It'd be great.
I was in a cult. That's
He says it that way. Surprise.
That's
I
where
was
I've
in a
been
cult.
the past couple months.
After I filmed my movie.
I was brainwashed, so...
But do we really want Kane back without a mask? I like him with the mask.
No, it
If he
would
has Cody
reveal-
Rhodes
Oh,
mustache.
he
It would
take the
reveal
lamb
his
mask off
regular
too.
mask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If he has Cody Rhodes
Yeah,
mustache.
Cody's mustache.
It's a mask under a mask.
They still have that
Inception
T-shirt.
mask.
Yeah, but the Kane napping has still been going on. I don't know what day it is.
Kane napping.
I thought they were going to take
It's
Kofi
been
also.
2 months now.
Yeah.
So.
And no one's concerned.
Why is Leslie Nielsen not on that case? SummerSlam 94 reference.
The Wyatt family continued to attack Kofi after the bell sounded. And then let's talk about the Rybak versus CM Punk match a little bit.
All right.
Heyman coaches Rybak right before this match. He says, "You're being bullied." It was very paternal almost.
I love this because, yeah, it was like at the beginning of the match, Rybak couldn't, like, Punk was getting a few kicks in, Rybak rolls out of the ring, and he walks over to Heyman, and he's like, what should I do? and Heyman's like, you know, he's trying to bully you. Stand up to the bully. It's like the great Be a Star campaign, but just a complete contradiction because it's the bully getting the advice.
Mm-hmm. And October is actually anti-bullying month.
October's a lot of things.
Man.
Wow.
October's a
packed.
stacked month.
Yeah.
And Halloween,
Yeah.
Columbus
fits in
Day.
This match was a great match, though. I really enjoyed it. It got to showcase both guys well, and Rybak is doing a good job in making us forget about Lesnar.
You can
Yes.
wrestle.
I agree with that.
Oh,
What did you think about his reaction
That was
to
awesome.
That reaction, I mean,
He
it's
said,
rare for you to react
"I
to
don't
things
care."
like that, but situations like that, I felt that was good. Good to do. And I think it got a positive reaction from the fans in a way, too. It's just like, oh, he actually listened to us. All right, now we'll watch the match.
That's really hard, though. That's got to be hard to...
It's got to hurt your feelings.
He gets
Being
a
a
lot.
heel- I
He gets
mean-
the Goldberg chance, and
They did that, too.
Like, they are razzing this guy.
Even not just... this anti-bullying campaign, not just in the, like, while they're doing matches, but then also on Twitter and all these things, people are saying, you know, the most awful things that you can to this person, and... I don't know.
Has there ever been a CM Punk match where you heard chants of boring before tonight? Because they were chanting at Rybak.
But I didn't think it was
he's involved.
boring.
But I didn't
though.
think it was at all. I thought it was a good match.
I think this is probably one of his best matches he's had since becoming Rybak and since becoming,
I'd agree with that.
like bully Rybak.
And he's really getting into
Fully
that
back.
character,
Yeah.
and it's really fitting really well.
Yes, absolutely.
There was a Randy Jackson chant.
No,
What was-
Riley Jackson. We thought it was
Riley
Something
Jackson.
Jackson.
I don't know.
It was hard to
We had no
decipher.
idea what it
Yeah.
was. But it was like, why are you doing that chant during this match?
They were bored.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
it's CM
why?
Punk.
By what?
Just
I don't
CM
know.
Punk, Paul Heyman. I don't understand why
Exactly.
you're bored.
Heyman ends up grabbing the mic and distracts CM Punk. Ryback gets some offense and then actually looks a little bloodied up.
He
while
got
this is
his
going on.
mouth cut up in the midst of the match.
Ryback has Punk on the rope. Ref pulls him away, and while distracted, Heyman gets the kendo stick from under the ring. About to hit Punk when Ref turns around, sees what he's up to. Punk takes advantage, pins Ryback.
Punk
for the
cheated to win.
He did.
Yes.
Punk cheated.
Was that an illegal move?
Yeah.
Right?
It's a low blow.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so when the ref was looking at Heyman, yelling at him for the kendo stick, Punk gives Rybak a low blow, and Rybak falls to the mat, and Punk, in a way, out-heeled the heel.
I was gonna say heelish, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, because he cheated to win, and it just leads up more to Hell in a Cell, where anything goes in Hell in a Cell matches.
CM Punk's being a bully.
Be a star, CM.
It's Rybak's Achilles heel because a year ago, Brad Maddox
thing
gave
happened.
Ryback
He could not fight back from low
I think
blows.
that's every guy's Achilles heel.
I don't know. I think it's Ryballs.
But Rybak seems to be the only one who loses matches from it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets hurt from it, but Rybak always loses matches from it.
Yeah.
And this is where the
video
pay-per-view
package
went dark.
Oh, there was no video package. That's right.
Yeah. Power goes completely out in the arena. We were wondering what was going on with our TV. Had to text some people to see if it was going on with them too across
Brad
the
Maddox is
country.
in so much trouble.
A hypothetical. You're WWE creative. How do you spin this tomorrow?
I definitely say it was
I say you blame
Maddox's
Brad
fault.
Maddox. You blame Brad Maddox, or you blame
Buffalo?
No, because there won't
gotta
be in
go-
Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I say you blame Maddox, or you can blame Vicky, or you could blame Daniel Bryan somehow. Triple H will point at someone to blame,
Okay.
but he won't take the blame
Okay.
Big Show.
if they acknowledge it.
What about Dusty's bionic elbow got a little out of control?
Oh, a sonic boom sent throughout.
The
and
Road
knocked out the
Celebration
power.
got so rowdy that somehow some champagne caused a short circuit.
He pulled off his
Guys.
belt for a third time.
Remember Goldust got shocked all those years ago?
Uh-oh.
He got electrocuted and then
Revenge.
had the stutter and the screaming. That's what happened. He tried to cure himself. He got his job back, electrocuted himself, cured himself of the stutter. That is what happened. This is why I don't work at WWE Creative.
I was going to say I'm very intrigued by that story, though. I
Right.
would like to hear more. So
Well, you can follow me on Twitter.
Go back about 10 years ago or so to watching Goldust with a stutter.
Yeah.
He
He had like
he
almost
had
kind of
Tourette's.
Tourette's. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh,
That is what Goldust would do.
we can't make fun of it
I
this
know.
month.
Oh, because it's Stutter Month? October is loaded. Man.
We're not making fun of people who have it. It's just what the character Goldust did.
Yeah.
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 It was prevalent for a very long time. Like, even the ECW time, when he would talk, he would still do it years later.
Orton versus
Well, he's
Daniel
cured
Bryan.
now. So.
But the blackout fix, and we had about 2 awkward minutes of just looking at the hard cam of Justin
Josh-
Roberts standing in the ring,
That was
waiting for a
awesome.
cue. Just kind of waiting there.
Oh my god.
And
was
like
the best.
you're waiting for the crowd. Like the crowd started applauding once the Titantron got back on. Like, oh, we're back. Okay, now we can do the match. So we didn't get the video package because that was during that time.
I want to know what happened during that time. Like, if you're in an arena with thousands of other
Insane
people,
panic.
Did everything
lights
go out? But
do
we
you
don't
think
know if that happened,
Bray
though.
Wyatt's coming out again, or do you just start
Undertaker?
like
Yeah,
running
that's what I would
for
think.
your life?
Well, was it out in the arena, or was it just a satellite feed?
It seemed like it was this.
I think
it was the
out in the
TV.
arena, right?
Like,
I don't know.
full,
Two different
full
things.
blackout.
Because how would they know? Like, if their jumbotron was off, I feel like the tweet that I saw was that the entire arena went black.
Maybe, and then they had to just like restart everything, so it would
Exactly.
take a few minutes for all
The
of it to kick
generator
back in.
to
Yeah.
kick
Oh,
in,
like
whatever
Jurassic
it is.
Park, Laura Dern had to go through all the stuff and then turn on all the switches.
WWE is just like Jurassic Park.
Knew it.
Hey, we got Funkasaurus there, so
But yeah, I would have thought Undertaker. I mean, if everything goes dark
Yeah.
and everything goes quiet.
What a disappointment if
The
you're
cra-
there and
if
you're
the
like, Taker.
I'm sure someone had was like filming on their phone. If it would be on YouTube, if all the lights go out and the crowd's going nuts and trying to chant Undertaker and nothing happened.
that happened at
Sorry, we have technical
SummerSlam.
difficulty right now.
In the Kane Wyatt match, all the lights went off at the end. And people thought the Undertaker was going to come out and save Kane, but
Nope.
it didn't happen.
Yeah, why would he come out and save his brother? No reason.
So
don't
Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Couple great posters during this. Orton peaked in 2004 was one of
Yes.
them, and then
Yes.
Duffel Bag Sphere Orton.
I'm
Props
applauding
to
that
you
one.
guys.
I'm applauding that
Applaud
one.
as well. Very good, sir.
Great
man.
pacing
Yep.
during this match. Great false finishes as well. It felt like there was actual tension between these two.
Yes. And I love, Michael Cole was breaking down Daniel Bryan's life. Like he mentioned, it might have been the first time they mentioned on live TV that he used to be known as the American Dragon.
Yeah, that was interesting.
How he had a detached retina and for a while wrestled with an eye patch.
Yeah.
I mean, like all this like crazy history of how he built his way to get to this point.
Detached retina sounds really
That sounds
painful.
it sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, and to have to
mean-
wrestle with an eye patch.
I get annoyed when I sleep with my contacts in, and then
We all do.
yeah,
We all do.
it's painful.
I have
terrible.
20/20, so
Oh, is that right?
I don't have contacts, so.
yes.
I'm legally blind. I don't know what's going on right now.
What am I
He
doing
thinks
here?
El Torito is a real bull.
There's a rumor.
Guys,
sounds
careful!
like
There's a
one.
bull out there.
They're very calm around this bowl.
Orton ends up superplexing Daniel Bryan over the top rope, which looked brutal. I don't think they got a good camera angle on that,
Not at
but
all.
When Orton does those superplexes, he really accentuates the vertical. Like
Yeah.
he makes it as tall as
he
can
went
be.
up. Yeah.
Which is different because a lot of the guys shoot out and go for distance. His just goes
goes for height.
straight up, and then it's like a 90-degree angle fall.
And
It's
then you know,
wild.
maybe even more devastating than that was the power bomb that he like when Daniel Bryan jumped up
yeah.
for the missile dropkick and Orton just caught him and just dropped him on his head.
Barely caught him.
Reminiscent of that first John Cena Batista match.
Yeah, where
just
Cena
like-
got hurt.
Yeah,
I just feel like Orton's always gonna break whoever he's working with.
he's a viper.
He used to be known as the Legend Killer.
Predator.
Yeah.
The Legend Killer.
That was his original nickname before the Viper.
The Wrestler Killer.
The Wrestler Killer. The Sports Entertainer Killer.
So Orton ends up going in for the RKO, but Daniel Bryan pushes him out of the way. Daniel Bryan gets him in the yes lock. Big Show's music hits, and he throws the ref out of the ring. Daniel Bryan goes over to Show, ends up getting punched. Big
Knocked
Show
out.
seems a little
Right in the beard.
conflicted.
Yeah.
Right in the beard.
And Big Show's pissed, and we're all just like, this was like he was ordered to come out there and do it. And then all of a sudden, Brad Maddox shows up and out. Hey, look who's back!
I called it before it happened.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Scott Armstrong, back to come out to make the count.
I thought he was getting taken care
I thought
of.
he had a severance.
Yeah, right? Severance
Yeah.
package.
Is he-
You still gotta work.
Is he double
That works.
dipping in the WWE?
Once he gets to the ring, Show punches him too. He is on a rampage, punching everyone. Show gets in the ring. Orton starts yelling at him. Big Show punches Orton. Maddox standing there completely perplexed. He's definitely getting in trouble. And then this is
And that's how
pretty
it
much
ends.
how it ends.
With no winner.
But let's not downplay it. I mean, the second that Big Show pulls out Armstrong and then punches him, that's when it breaks the feeling of, well, I don't know what's going to happen anymore.
Yes.
Like that changed. That was the moment because you said we expected.
We expected Big Show to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and help
then-
Orton win.
Yes, and it's like, well, that's what's going to happen. And then they broke that and then gave you that feeling. And then he punched Orton and then he got fired up and the crowd got fired up. And then, yeah, that's what wraps up the show is Big Show's like, I'm awake and I'm alive now and I will punch people. Like, I don't care anymore. And Maddox
He's
looking
probably getting
stunned.
fired.
Yeah, Maddox looking stunned like, well, this is a mess. It's terrible.
And the WWE title is still in abeyance.
Yep.
But it's on that nice little pedestal.
It
It's got the
looked
little
nice. It looked
velvet
very
right
nice.
there.
We thought that our predictions title was going to be in abeyance for a little bit tonight.
We gotta give two people props.
Yes.
For this. First off, Kaori actually predicted it to be a draw in the main event. She predicted that no one would win it, and
I'll clap
she
for that.
got it. And Showtime Josh on Monday Night Raw, as much as I grudgingly want to say it,
You people on
he
Raw
was
keeping that
1
title.
second away from a perfect score. If Big Show didn't pull Scott Armstrong out of the ring during that 3 count, Showtime would have been the first guy with a perfect pay-per-view. And
That's awesome.
He is our new predictions champion.
And I heard that he has already been practicing his speech.
He's rehearsing a promo. Why?
That's terrible. I don't like these scripted promos, guys.
I know.
Off the cuff.
Yes.
Let it live. Be spontaneous.
You can actually find it on the app, guys, if you want to download that.
Oh, how do you do that?
We don't have one.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, one day we'll learn.
Last thing that I want to mention tonight, are we going to see the Daniel Bryan beard in the WWE store now?
It's there.
I
It
hope so.
is.
I saw it.
Did you see it?
I got an email. Yeah.
What?
Email. All the Halloween
finally
costumes
there?
are out. Yeah. You
Oh,
can
for
buy.
Halloween, absolutely.
I think that
Yeah.
should be part of the championship.
I
Of the Predictions
I thought it was
Championship.
gonna hang
That
off
you
there.
also have to have the beard on.
Well, I think Halloween
shows.
week, every single one of us in our AfterBuzz shows has to wear a beard.
I think some people might argue that Corey is Josh's beard.
Okay.
You've never seen his FMKs with the shield.
Oh, I have.
He
I have
literally-
listened to them.
haters?
What?
Oh, not that shield.
No,
I thought you were talking about
Josh,
the boob haters.
I love him to death.
Josh does a lot of FMKs with
Yes.
the WWE superstars.
Yeah.
FMKs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Marry, kill, or...
Oh,
Yeah.
fornicate.
There you go.
The PG version.
You
But
guys haven't done one
And
in a
he
while in a row, though.
We haven't done one in a while, but he also has a very big man crush on Brad Maddox.
I have
Tried
one
to
for
dress
tomorrow.
like him a
You have to
couple
do the Rhodes
times,
family
yeah.
tomorrow, right?
The Rhodes
Rhodes family tomorrow. Have him
Oh,
do one.
FMK
yeah,
Rhodes
yeah,
family.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah,
be
tomorrow
great.
night.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder where he's going to put Gold Dust.
Right in the middle. Right in the
You're
middle.
going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out.
Yes. So, great pay-per-view overall. Unexpectedly great. Where can people find you, Christian?
Well, you could find me on Twitter at CRosieVOC if you would like to join the garden and become a Rosebud. I also host The Voice AfterBuzz Monday nights, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern, as well as Friday night SmackDown, the A AfterBuzz show, I might add. Friday nights, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Download numbers don't lie. Scott!
Oh!
They can find me on Twitter at Curtin Jerkson. You can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast that has sketches, actual guests, impressions, all that
Actual
good stuff.
guests.
Yeah, we do. Actual guests from time to time, including yourself.
I was on
sir.
an episode.
You were on an episode, prominently featured. You can listen to that on iTunes and comedypodcastnetwork.com.
I have to say, you are really funny.
Hey!
Finally, a girl has validated my life.
You know, because you were coming in today, and she's like, him?
No thanks.
Oh, I just didn't know you.
We have a lot of fun on Wednesday
Yeah.
night on Main Event.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
where you can check me out.
Tom.
And
Oh,
Scott.
look at
WWE
segue.
Main Event
Look at
Wednesday
that.
nights, and this Tuesday night we're starting a Supernatural here at AfterBuzz.
And your
what's your
Twitter?
Twitter?
My Twitter, Tom the Cobb.
Yeah, it is.
For now.
And then,
Yeah, wait, he's gonna make up another name so I can change it.
exactly. You can find me, you're going to be Tom the slightly infuriated.
Yeah.
Something agitated.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. You can find me here doing Raw and a million other shows. You can find AfterBuzz TV on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. So until next pay-per-view in like 4 days.
Yeah, pretty much.
See you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.